He teased me about it on the run today.
Oh
He's
my
like,
God.
"Man, really surprised me," and then just like left it at that. And I'm like, okay,
Yep.
where are we going?
It's shocking.
Oh, I have to tell you later.
It is shocking. It is. Yeah, he told me about it, and I just, are you kidding me?
And then just like left it at that. And I'm like, okay. Got our records going.
Just about to. I have it armed. Good morning, Michelle. Guten Morgen, y'all.
Hi, Sissy.
Good morning, all y'all.
Man, why is that buffering like that?
Yep.
Maybe that's what Dad was talking about. That is not a good...
Could that have anything to do with why it was buffering while we were trying to watch Disney Plus?
No. Using a completely different technology.
Oh.
You can ask Michelle how the stream looks for her.
Michelle, how's this stream look for you? Okay. Well, let's get going. Good morning. Happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday indeed.
Yeah, let's roll the intros and we'll get cracking here. Whoops, sorry.
This podcast contains adult themes and language. The views expressed here are our own opinions and experiences. We are not medical professionals.
In this podcast, we discuss our opinions about mental health, sobriety, addiction, and our pursuit of happiness and peace. This is Sober Mind.
All right. Let's get cracking. Sorry, we were battling some technical nuances. I'm watching the stream on another stream and it's buffering real bad. So if anyone out there is having issues, let us know. Okay. I have a story to tell.
All right, I'm ready for the story.
Okay, I went and had my annual physical last week. Everything checked out fabulously. I was pleasantly surprised. So
A lot better than it did when you went and had a physical when we were drinking.
yes. So my blood pressure is in a very, very good area. Just all the blood work comes back super fast. It's like my Michelle says hers is doing it too. It's buffering. All right, hold on. It's nothing on our end. We have crazy high upload speeds going on. We've changed nothing since any streams that we've been doing. It's all good. What do you think, Patrick? Nothing I could do now.
Put in a ticket. We'll get to it.
Good morning, Lisa. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Well, you might as well just jump in with your story.
Yeah, I don't know what to do if it's buffering on the other end. I can't. There's nothing I can do. It's all good here. So. It is frustrating. Come on, YouTube, fix your stuff.
Is it YouTube?
It has to be. Yeah, Michelle's saying it was buffering like last weekend. Okay.
The inner tubes,
Yeah. There's nothing I could do right now.
space magic at this point.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, I had the physical. I left the hospital. I got on the elevator, rode down. Oh, I gotta just let me focus on this entire story. The whole like next 20 minutes of my day of my trip. It was.
All right.
You ever have one of those days where you're like, what is going on? Like the universe just sucks you into something. Is like, hey, this is I'm gonna present you with just a shitstorm of wild stuff. Okay.
Through the looking glass type of stuff,
Yeah.
Just to make sure you're present.
right?
Yeah. Just to make sure, like, hey, you paying attention to all this stuff? I'm like, yeah, unfortunately, I am. Let me go to the main view here. Patrick failed. No recording going.
Oh, no. Your co-pilot. What happened?
Yeah. All right.
That run this morning ran all the
Right.
ran all the sense out.
So I'm walking out of the hospital, and our hospital has this really nice, like, slightly curved front area, and it's just really big lit hallway. And there was a lady standing to my left, and she's looking down at her phone. And yeah, everything's working on this side. I'm very distracted. I'm going to turn this off. I can't concentrate.
It'll upload. It uploads in quality.
Yeah.
So I'll be
Yeah.
there.
It'll be fine. Okay, so this lady was looking down at her phone, and she, you catch someone, and she did like a quick look to the left, and like she made this grimaced face, and I was like, oh, don't. My brain did not compute what I was about to see. I took a couple more steps, and there was a lady, I don't know, had to be mid-50s, really, really disheveled. I felt sorry for I'm not making fun of her, just for the record. We talk about mental health on this show, so she clearly had a mental health issue. Because what was happening was she was wearing a real skimpy sundress, and she was doing an action which my brain said, this is not happening, to the point where I had to do a double take, triple take, and then I just stared as I was walking. I was like, what the fuck? She had a big old breast out of her sundress, and she was just full on.
I appreciate the sound effects. As if to paint the picture.
As if telling it wasn't enough.
Yeah, it was like audibly loud, and she put it away and started talking to herself.
Oh,
Yeah,
poor dear.
Yeah, poor woman. I was just
Oh, my
like,
goodness. But just to be confronted with that is just what?
man, yeah.
Shocking.
Thoughts?
I don't know. I
How
was
do you-
thinking like if there's anybody that's in New York listening to our show and being like, yeah, that's called a Tuesday. Right?
That's called Tuesday on,
Yeah, right.
on the subway.
On the subway.
Right? Yeah, like a bunch of different thoughts on that. I think it just goes to show that we never really know what's going on inside most people.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
two, like I don't want to uncork one this early in the show, but I feel frustrated with the lack of access to mental health services and preemptive care that, usually those people if you go to the hospital, it's like last case or last resorts items, because they've run out of toolkits to been able to approach some of those issues before. I also not to get too way down the political spectrum, but I feel like the deinstitutionalization of mental health facilities in the 80s was a big underpinning of that. And, you know, because you think it's either that, you know, you see her in the hospital and now you can say, oh, poor her. But if you see that on the street, like the other option is criminalization of those actions at this point.
Right.
Yeah, which solves nothing.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
part of me is also like, poor her, but thank goodness it was in a hospital setting where, you know, at least
It
some
could
care
be addressed. Yeah.
some care could be getting, you know, she probably won't get as much as needed, but at least some care can begin to be addressed there rather than the criminalization of those actions.
Yeah. For sure. So, but anyway, it was one of those things I still have not yet been able to unsee. So I hope she gets some help. Well, I don't.
I hope she gets some help. I really do. I mean, I hope that somebody comes along and says, you know what, we need to do something for this lady because she is definitely not working with all cylinders.
Well, you know, we say that too, but how many times have you seen people with addiction problems? You know, like it's crazy how much the mental health issues and the addiction problems go hand in hand, because sometimes you can't tell, is it, you know, another question would have been like, is this person under the influence?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And it's really hard to tease those two apart.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Especially somebody who has schizophrenia,
Yeah.
who is an addict. I mean, how do you decipher?
Yeah. So,
you're distracted by
yeah.
hello, John, I'm up here.
Sorry. Yeah, I don't know what to fix. Well, hey, Catherine, nice to see you, and Lisa. Okay, let me.
You downloading like a giant game on the Xbox or something right now?
It is not the bandwidth here. It's the YouTube.
You can try and bump your quality down, but I don't know if that's going to create more problems than it's going to help.
Yeah, it's only streaming.
Well, what about the video that we're going to watch?
That'll be an issue. Patrick, I only have it on 1080p.
That's pretty high for streaming. But
This is not making for a very entertaining podcast, I tell you that right
yeah.
now.
Troubleshooting with John and Patrick.
Yeah, it's doing it.
How was your week, Patrick?
It's doing it
It
for
was good.
everybody. So
Got a lot
Yeah.
of miles in,
Yeah.
so that helped.
Has it all the exercise kind of helped your brain?
It has. It helps. It's helped mellow it out, so
Yeah.
to speak. At work, I'm dealing with some stuff where I'm like getting to the point of the levels of F that I have been able to give has been like, I'm coming to learn to accept that threshold.
Well, that's, hey, that's
So-
good.
And then like, yeah, it's just the realization that, hey, work is work,
yeah,
Do you work to live, or, more importantly, are we living to work? Or did I mess that up?
working to live.
I did. Flip that around. Flip flop it. I still have a lot of work to do on that.
Yeah, it's very hard to realize that you go to work so that you can make money to do the things you want to do when you're not at work.
Yeah. It's funny that you say it like that, because that's the exact issue that I have, doing all this personal work. We talk about, if you want to be happy, right? And we're teaching ourselves that. Don't make it contingent upon other people's expectations, or if things go a certain way, or I have to do X, Y, and Z to be happy, right?
Yeah.
I very much have the same underpinnings about work right now. It's like, I want to do all these things, and work is one of those things where I feel like, I have to show up and do X, Y, Z in order for me to be able to do this, right? And I'm like,
Yeah.
no, I just want to get to the things that I want to do. And, I don't know. Some days I just, have to, it's work, and I'm very grateful. There's a lot of positive interactions for it, and I'm grateful for that. So I just need to lean into those.
Yeah. Embrace those.
There's ebbs and flows within it too. 2 years ago, where I'm at, I was in a very good place on a very good team. So, and not everything can stay the same. So I gotta, those times will be back around at another point. All I can do is just focus on what I can affect. That's why I'm saying, like, I wasn't trying to be salty about I only have so many F's to give, but truly I only have so many F's to give. And, if I'm investing them in the wrong areas about feeling salty or feeling down, then, that's going to what comes back to me. Mm-hmm. So,
energy flows where attention goes.
Yep. So running has helped.
Good. That's awesome.
Recenter that.
Yeah, exercise is amazing for the brain. I mean, it's good for the body too, but for the brain, it is phenomenal.
Yep.
The catharticism that happens when you after you exercise, and you're just relaxed, and it's just.
Yep.
Yeah.
Especially getting back on it, being as heavy as I am and getting older, since we're training for the half marathon. We were saying this before, when I would get excited to be like, oh, I'm going to be a runner. I'm going to do the half marathon, or I'm going to lift. I'm going to lift, all of a sudden I had these big goals, and each workout felt like I had to win large ground towards those goals, right? Like I was trying to run, when they were training for it, it felt like I was trying to run the marathon every time, got to finish it out with sprint, run faster. And this week, I was telling John, it was nice. I got the miles back up, and I hadn't been up in that range in quite a long time, but I didn't do it by just grinding it. I just got out there and did heart rate running. So staying in a low zone, and some of those miles were so slow, but I was telling them on the run, that's the time and space for me to get reacquainted with my breath, with my gait. When you're running downhill, you don't try and run faster. I you just reposition your hips and kind of learn to glide to ride that downhill, the kinetic energy, those little nuances, same with life, we're so worried about going faster or doing more rather than just enjoying the journey along the way and those little nuances. And so running that slow and that heart rate, there's more in tune for me to get in tune with my body. That's closer to meditation, like breathing patterns and being cognizant to slow my heart rate. And try and align that with my gait. So I'm not, because I have a natural tendency, as a good addict, to be if you're running, you're all right, and you're feeling good. What happens when you're feeling good when you run? You want to run faster. Right. And all of a sudden, you're 2 minutes in, you're why am I out of breath or feeling like I'm,
why am I exhausted?
My body naturally wants to push itself. And that's just me. Not everybody's like that. So the discipline of just getting back to I'm here to enjoy the run rather than do the run.
Rather than get to the finish line.
Right.
Yeah. That's the analogy that you did between running or doing a race and life is very, very apropos. I mean, because a lot of us do. We just try to get to the end result and don't really enjoy the journey that we're going on.
Right.
It's relevant to being in the present and enjoying this moment right now and everything that's going on right at this moment, and just to be in this moment instead of thinking about all the things that I have to do later on today and thinking about what I have to do next week. And, instead of just thinking about, okay, I'm just sitting here and I'm enjoying the air and I'm enjoying the plants and I'm enjoying the wind chimes in the background and the birds and, just being. I think a lot of us do forget that is very essential in our lives.
Yep.
Yes. Running, the metaphor for life.
Yeah, in more ways.
It works. It works.
In the past, it was me running away from everything. So you can twist it to however you want to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm perceptive.
So speaking of mental health, how was everyone's week? I'll start.
All right.
Are we doing gratitude or just week?
Yeah, let's start with gratitude. I was trying to think of this morning, and it really didn't take much thought. It's basically, being able to wake up in the morning and having health and mental overall satisfaction and happiness. There's nothing grandiose about this week's gratitude.
Hey, it's still beneficial.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still important. What about you, Patrick?
Mine is very similar, gratitude for health, but in the lines of with the work that we've been doing of staying sober, it seems like if I get like a sore muscle or something like that, I am more attentive to like either stretch it out and take time and care for those items. Now I'm learning to be better, but before, something like, oh, I have a limp, I will, I distinctly remember running a lot sometimes when I was drinking a lot, and it was a form of punishment. Like I almost think it is like along the lines of the Catholic monks that would I can't even think of the
flog.
Word. Yeah, flog. Like just be like, like
flagellate.
Yeah,
self-flagellation.
Yep. When I'd be running, you'd be hungover and you'd be like, oh, I just need to sweat this hangover out and I'll be fine. And it's like, or if I was okay, if I had like a limp or like a sore muscle, I'd like try and power through and be like, stop being a baby about it and get through it. And now it seems, it's like, okay, this is where we're at now. Slow your gait down and enjoy it. It's not enough to disrupt. I'm more in tune with it to understand, well, I can keep up my gait and that's something that I'll stretch out later or something like that. Right. So that's just overall health, being able to be, I'm not saying like I'm a spring chicken ready for like anything to pop up, but it's nice being like not fucking just fighting and struggling my body all the time.
Yeah, for real.
I remember there was times when John and I were drinking and he would get up the next morning and go for a run because he would say, I'm going for a run because I drank way too much last night and I need to get it out of my system. And it's like the self punishment. Yeah.
Think about that. I mean, I've said that so many. I need to run to get it out of my system. Like it's
I know. Well, so my rationale was I need to go run so I could enjoy drinking today.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like some ceremony. The power of Christ compels you. Sweat it out, brother. Oh my goodness. And that's so great. You think about it. You set it up. I'm going to go run so I can get it out of my system so I can do it again.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
That was always the rationale.
Yeah. I'm okay because I'm running, so I'm okay to drink like a fish because I'm running and I'm trying to be healthy.
Oh,
so that counteracts all the drinking and drunkenness that I do.
I feel like that's absurd. It's like there's an old the Tenacious D CD when he's like they're doing the skits and Jack Black's like, let's go to the drive-thru, and he's like orders like a bunch of burgers and stuff, and he's like, I need a half Diet Coke, half Coke, because I'm watching my figure.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah. I'm trying to be healthy. I'm doing all this running, but let me go get smashed after this.
The calculus.
Oh goodness.
Where's my fucking spreadsheet?
Yeah, right. Right? No, that's a good point too. I drank hard alcohol last night, so it's going to be the 10K today.
That's right.
Like,
Yep.
What?
Yeah, people. When I talk about my sobriety and then running, people always we didn't. This is just how our conversation flows. So here we are, but it's relevant to what we're discussing with mental health. people always ask, well, John, how did you always run when you're like you say, drunk all the time? Well, when you wake up, I don't know. I never knew how to answer that. I guess you get good at it. Running, it's not pure joy running with a hangover.
No.
Sarah, a good friend of ours, she says that she used to enjoy, on the occasion that she would get a hangover, that she would enjoy running with that. But I tried to tell her, like, you don't get hangovers like I got hangovers. But I never knew how to answer that. I guess it was just, it's the determination and the not wanting to be completely disappointed with myself.
Yeah.
So that was,
that
man, I
fear
drank.
is complex and it has weird and manifests itself in weird ways.
Yeah. Like, okay, so I drank too much, but I need to go run. So at least I can portray to myself some semblance of being responsible and normal still.
Yeah, outcome driven. If I can run, that shows I don't have a problem with alcohol.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the veil.
There was also the I need to go run so that I can earn my drinks later on.
Yep, playing into the calculus.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then
God, it's amazing how we try and trick ourselves.
I don't know. This is a good analogy, but like a turbo diesel engine. Usually in cold weather, you have the glow plugs.
Or spray ether in the air hose.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Normally you take care of the glow plugs and then you just make sure that it's well taken care of, and then you have a long idle and then you're good to go forever, right? Those things are wonderful for that. Or you do like you said, Judy. Exactly. You caught on to that pretty quick.
I used to have a diesel Chevette.
Oh shit! Who's got the ether? And started up that way, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
That's pretty much the same thing as running. with a hangover is just using the ether to jumpstart. It's like
jumpstart the car.
Of course, you're gonna say like I'm living fine when you wake up with a donkey kick to the chest every morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Thank goodness we quit smoking cigarettes a long time ago, because that'd be a bad combination.
Man, on some of those runs, it felt like my heart rate, if I would run enough, my heart rate wouldn't spike ridiculous, right? If you're running enough, even if you're drinking, it still gets up there. But what it felt like, it felt like my heart was trying to pump a vacuum.
Yeah.
Like if that makes sense. Like if you have a bulb and you can see it, you compress it and then fills back up again. Like if it's a good, you can just pump and it goes. But if it's in a vacuum, it pumps and it's just trying to inflate again. And it's like, I got nothing for you, bud.
Yeah. God, the shit we would do, man.
Oh, the torture.
So gratitude for you, Judy.
Yeah.
That was a long way around for gratitude.
I am, I'm grateful for everybody in my life, all the support that we get, all of the encouragement that we get. I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for being able to, at this point, being able to appreciate all of that stuff deeper down instead of just on the surface as I did when I was medicated and drunk. I'm able to, really deep down appreciate all the people that are in my life, and, to really tap into the true caring and love that's inside of me for all of the encouragement and all of the family and friends that I have, instead of just faking it on the surface stuff, saying, yeah, I really appreciate this stuff, and not really feeling it. And now I'm able to really feel those feelings. And so I'm grateful for that.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
I did a lot of surface stuff when I was drinking and smoking a lot of pot. There was a lot of surface. I didn't, I've stepped in deeper puddles.
My mom was awesome growing up. Showed a lot of love.
Lucky.
I was. But the thing was, I had other things that I was dealing with though too. And I took a lot of that for granted, either because I hadn't learned how to validate myself, right? So if it came from my mom, I didn't understand if that was like, if I sought it from others. Of course, yes, words of encouragement were good from her, but like, I'm trying to describe this as like I thought that was just her nature, as in like, oh yeah, that's what moms do, okay? You know, and I was just dismissive of it. No, I mean, not outright, but I don't think I fully appreciated it. And then like being able to come back now, like now in my mind, when I like go back over those instances and seeing those points of engagement, I feel like, holy shit, that was a fucking miracle. Like that was something very special, you know? And the only thing that I'm upset about is that I wasn't present to fully accept all of it for what it was. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
You know, because, you know, in the victim mode, you're like, oh, woe is me, you know, like,
Yeah.
you know, like, and then mom either gives you the hug and is like, you know, gives you words of encouragement, and you're like, yeah, this is what it's supposed to be like, but woe is me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't know. It's very, I'm very grateful now too to be able to look upon that, and it's helped me with my dynamic with my kids. You know, since I still have a lot of issues to work though too, but when those moments appear and I can be present with them, they're very rewarding.
Good. Yeah, and I see that when I watch your interactions with your children too. You're very patient, Patrick. Extremely patient.
That is if you had a list of adjectives to describe my interaction with my kids, I would not have picked patience on there.
Really?
It always feels like, you know, as an adult, you know, with kids, like they're learning the rules. You know, if you read the book Four Agreements, they're learning the dream of society, meaning they're just learning their boundaries and their interactions with everything. I mean, in fact, that's their job to find those, right? And so I feel as a parent, you can sometimes get too focused on being the, you know, the bumper guards at the bowling alley. Like, no, stop, put it down, stop. You know, and it just like, you know, it goes so fast. Like I said, sometimes it's like, you know, no, the toilet paper thing. No, we don't put whole rolls of toilet paper in the toilet because it will clog. You know, it's like, you know, in the midst of that action, you're just like, no. I can't believe this is happening. Right? It just goes so fast, and they ping pong around that I just feel like I'm just some days I feel like I'm just going around with like, you know, just being those bumper guards, and it's hard to find in the you know, since they're so full of energy, it's hard to find the connection sometimes when they're just like, they're cut from the same cloth as us. They're you know, seeking to be elsewhere. And, you know, or dealing with their own realizations of, you know, ADHD or other tendencies like that too. So it's just, yeah, some days I'm just being the bumper guard, right? And some days I do get to, you know, be able to connect with them directly. And so I don't know. I appreciate you saying patience though.
Well, that's what I observe. And you're very, I think it's you know, like the sixth sense of parenting though. When you guys were over here and it's like, you know, we don't have children in our home, so when I see their actions, their shadows move about, I'm like, oh,
You're right.
What's going on?
What are they getting
There's
into?
nothing more like, I love those moments when we're at home. I'm looking at Jess. I'm like, wow. Yeah, this is nice. It's really quiet. Holy fucking shit. It's really quiet. What's going on? Where are they? You know, what's happening?
What are they getting
what's
into?
going down? And the thing with the bumper guard thing too, you know, like, because they're kids, they got to learn their boundaries too. You know, it's like there's a fine line between like, my son was like, I want to go step on this rake. I'm like, all right, go ahead. Other than like, hey, I'm gonna jump off this 3-story deck. You're like, all right, we're gonna pull back on this one. A little
Hold
bit.
on.
You gotta find some like in between where they're allowed to like fail safely.
Yeah.
And learn their lesson, as opposed to putting their lives in danger.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I observe patience. So, babe, go ahead.
I was just going to talk about the video.
Oh,
right.
Yeah. You want to jump into it?
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, we still have viewers on, and the stream is catching up. We haven't changed any settings, so we'll have to look at it afterwards. But I can't call anyone at YouTube or Google and be like, hey, because the recordings will be there. But last week it did stop at 25 minutes for some odd reason.
Excuse me, YouTubes, can I get another tube, please?
All right.
I don't think they take tickets, do they?
Right.
Nope. Let's get in. Let's watch. We're on number 3. We'll do 3 and 4 of the 5 lessons to live by Dr. Wayne Dyer. And then I think we'll have a brief discussion, and then we're going to wrap it up because we have a soccer game to get to. How's that sound?
Sounds good.
All right.
I'm looking forward to seeing Flynn.
Yeah.
There are many ways to get the things that we want for ourselves in our lives. But basically, it all begins with how we choose to think. As you think, so shall you be. 7 little words that I think are perhaps the most important things that we can learn and master in our lives. This old proverb notion that I become what I think about all day long. And once you know that what you think about is what expands, you start getting real careful about what you think about. You don't allow your thoughts to be on anything that you don't want, or that you wouldn't want to have manifest or show up for you in your life. Have a mind that is open to everything and attached to nothing. One of the central principles of my life is that no one knows enough to be a pessimist about anything. And that each and every one of us, when we close our mind to what is possible for us or what is possible for humanity, closes off the genius that resides and lives in each and every one of us. Having an open mind doesn't necessarily mean finding fault with all of the things that you've been taught by others. It means opening yourself up to the potentiality and the possibility that anything and everything is possible. So having a mind that is open to everything and attached to nothing really means finding within ourselves the ability to get rid of a trait that I find so common in the contemporary world. Do you know that most people that I meet spend their lives looking for occasions to be offended? They actually are out there hoping that they can find some reason to be offended. And there's no shortage of reasons. They're out there everywhere. The way this person dressed, what this person said, they turn on their TV, they hear the news, they're offended by this. Someone used language that they didn't like, someone doesn't share the same customs that you, and people all day long. In fact, if you keep track tomorrow, you will find probably 100 reasons that you can go around being offended. But a mind that is open to everything and attached to nothing is a mind that says, I'm never looking for anything to be offended by. And that whatever anybody else out there has to say, my response to that is, that's an interesting point of view. I've never considered that before.
Yeah, that
Those are
takes
two
a lot
very simple but potent things to live by. I mean, it seems so simple, but I know I'm definitely attached to a lot of stuff that I don't need to be attached to. Still working on that one.
Yeah, that one takes a lot of practice for me all the time.
Very conscious.
Yeah, we've talked about it before, Patrick, and like we've discussed and read that what does it take 35 years for us to, by the time we're 35, we've sort of cemented the foundation of who we are, and those habits are there.
Yeah, that's what Dr. Joe Dispenza said. By the time we're 35. Yeah.
Yep. Thanks for the reminder, babe. A good example is I get stuck in positions. This is a good example. Our live stream isn't working correctly. I know that it's going to record, and I'm going to upload I changed, by the way. I'm going to do, since it records the video, I'm going to put that in the video sections. Then there's the live section there, so people can go back and watch. But I get completely thrown off, not just by things like this, but with interactions in life. I wake up in the morning and I set myself up with a really good trajectory. I force a smile onto my face, and that's how I wake up and I get my day started. But then I see some clown jack at the gas station do something that I don't like, and it's like, oh, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, how, Jesus, this person, you know what I mean? Then I'm like, hey, calm down, bro. It's not, just go about, John, get back on your path of your day. Quit interjecting yourself into other people's actions just because they're driving like an asshole, or, texting on their phone, or not paying attention to the cashier as they're trying to have a transaction. I don't know what that's about. It's gotten a little bit better since I've been sober, but it definitely is still there. So sort of in the vein of what he was talking about, it's, if you wake up and think the world is just doom and gloom and a shitty place to be, and I can put myself there, unfortunately, very quickly. Does it make sense? I'm always straddling the line still, and that's the behavior I've had all of my life. I think it's, defense mechanisms of horrible parenting from no. What is it, Patrick? What's this?
No, go ahead.
So it's just the behaviors that I've learned and or not learned to address properly. I've always been very reactionary with stuff, including my emotions. So I don't know where I'm going with that. It's just sometimes I'm pleased by my behavior. Sometimes I get a little bit disappointed by it too, because what do I strive to be every day? Happy. That's my happiness makes me happy. I like being a happy person, but then I'll catch myself. Oh, I got a shingles vaccine, by the way, at the hospital. Shit wiped me out for 3 days. I still ran, for the record. It was like I had a cold without having any of the head cold shit going on. And the last 2 days, I would just catch myself being very short and snappy with Judy. But I'm very conscious of it. I'm like, I'm sorry. Sorry, babe. All right. I'm like aware of my behavior and what I'm doing, but
that's the step. I mean, you're talking about samskaras, like stuff that we hold on to that we think that is part of identity, expectations that have been hard written into our operating code. You get upset when you see that person because you're expected that behavior not to happen, right? Or or you didn't expect that person to cut you off. Don't you see me? I am trying to get to work. And whenever there's a disruption in that, is when we grasp. We talked about this last week. You're following your experience of reality is separating from your expectations. So you're in a sense falling, and you're grasping at your known behaviors, your known identity, what you hold on to. And that's how it manifests.
Your old emotions.
Yep. One of my favorite parables, in Buddhism was there's two monks that belonged to a sect of celibacy. And, you know, there's an older monk and a younger monk, and they were traveling through the forest. And, you know, at this point, like, they had...
Sorry.
This is not a joke, babe.
Two celibate monks walk into a bar. Sorry.
Yeah, right. You know, I love some of their parables because they're even as lighthearted as that. Because there's you know, the ending of this is almost as quippy. But at this point, you know, neither of them had seen a woman in their life. You know, they were both born into this sect, and they were walking through the forest, and they came upon a river that was rather high, and they realized that there was another person, you know, beside them, and it was a woman. And they, you know, they were about ready to cross, you know, pull up all their robes and everything and cross, and the woman, they realized, couldn't. And so the older monk, without saying anything, went ahead and picked the woman up. And in the meantime, the younger monk, you know, like, their vow was not to even touch a woman. So he is just like flabbergasted, like, oh my God, what have you done? You know, like, this is completely against like what we've dedicated our entire lives to do. But he didn't say anything. He was just flabbergasted. And so the older one carries the woman across. She thanks him. You know, they pick up, and the younger monk is just like, he's just like distraught at this. They keep walking, and he's like, is he gaslighting me? You know, why isn't he saying anything? Like, is he going to approach something? Like, what the F just happened? That completely turned everything that we knew upside down. And, you know, the young monk finally couldn't take it anymore. And he turns to him and he's like, you know, why did you pick that woman up? And why did you, you know, like, why didn't you say anything? And he like tried to start into it. And the older monk goes, are you still carrying her? I put her down 2 miles ago.
Nice. I like
Nice.
that. Yeah.
And it's, you know, it's rather short because it's like, you know, what it's trying to get at is the, you know, the older monk did what was needed for the experience, for what was unfolding in front of them. And he was not attached to his identity of being like, I am only a celibate monk. You know, he's a monk that, you know, ascribes to that lifestyle and does it. You know, it's like we talked about, you know, if I run 25 miles this week, I'm a runner. No, I'm a runner because I like to run. You know, the differences there,
Right.
of what they're trying to identify with. And he was able to let that go. And he was able to carry the woman, not out of like, he didn't pick the woman up and was like, oh my God, this is super awkward. You know, like, am I going to get tattled on? You know, like,
Yeah.
am I going to get like, am I going to pick her up? Am I going to get the fear boner right away? And like, no, he's like,
Best
you know,
depiction
like,
of a monk ever.
are we dating? Do I need to like update my profile status now?
Yeah.
No, picked her up. You know, like, okay, you're across the river. We're good. Okay, thanks. Bye. That was it.
Yeah, move on. Yeah, I think it's also the amount that we allow the external stuff outside to affect us. Whether, you know, everything is, and I'm full on working on this one, especially if I wake up bad in the morning because one of the dogs decided to jump up on the bed and wake me up. That unfortunately still sends me off the deep end.
I'm
But
not a morning person either, so I get chirped about that a lot.
yeah, but I think for me, it helps me to say, do I really want to allow that to bother me? And most of the time, no, I don't. I don't want to allow those external effects to affect me and what I want my emotional state to be. It's not easy because you have to focus on that for a while until that feeling for me goes away and I can move on with the rest of my day and not feel like I've, you know, been pinched or tweaked somewhere. But it's very much do I really want to allow that to affect my day?
Yeah, I don't know how many days that, you know, like you have like an errant interaction with somebody, like you're either at the store, like either, you know, I remember like one time I accidentally bumped into somebody and gave them the old Miss Midwestern, like, oh, you know, excuse me, you know, and it was an honest accident. but it was, caught somebody on the bad day. It's like, hey, fuck you, buddy. Like, are you, it's like, a whole bunch of obscenities folded out. And it's just like, all of a sudden my brain, like, and the interaction's there and gone, carry the woman across the river, walk out of the store. I'm like, what the fuck just happened? Did he just step to me? Should I have done something? Like, oh, I should have thought of this. And of course, my brain thinks of all the clever comebacks. And it's like, well,
once you're disengaged.
Yeah, right. And the whole rest of the evening's just shot because you're just like, they're in your kitchen, stealing the cookies from your cookie jar, just living in your head rent free at that point.
Yeah.
And
yeah, that is so. Yeah, just hang in there. They won't go away.
Yeah.
Yep. So
that's a good analogy, Patrick. Yeah.
So yeah, I just need to learn to put those down when they appear. Don't worry about the fear boner.
Yeah.
It's going to be all right.
I remember I was taking I was taking a customer service class, and they said that, your example, you're in a drive-through and you pull up to the drive-through and the person that's dealing with you, whoever it is, no good. They don't have good customer service. So they're just horrible. They're treating you like crap. And then they said, you never realized that person earlier that day had just lost a relative. So you never know what is going on in their life to cause them to react that way. It's all how you react to their reaction, whether it's going to be the immediate emotional, well, if you're going to be a jerk, I'm going to be a jerk too. Or you're just going to look at them and say, I bless you. Have a good day. Bye. And just leave it alone.
So this is where it gets confusing for a lot of people because you're absolutely right, Judy. And I think we need to give people that deal customer service more support and more outlet, because they take on a lot during their interactions. And this is not to say when somebody comes up like that you're immediately like, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words won't hurt me type of thing. Like,
that is such bullshit.
It is such bullshit because, it's not saying like I'm excusing their behavior.
Yeah.
Right. If somebody's coming up, you can clearly articulate, I like the customer service people that are like, sir, we're just providing a service. If you continue to talk like that, then, we won't be able to continue this interaction. Clearly articulate your needs, wants, and desires, like setting healthy boundaries and a non-aggressive engagement is a very healthy way to approach that. And you don't want to dismiss. And it's hard to do that because say you're in that environment and somebody comes up the drive-through window and starts berating, sometimes it takes a team effort to have that understanding of setting boundaries is the healthier way for engagement, rather than just being like, oh, the customers are always right. Let's let this person just come in and shit all over and then leave, and then we'll be fine. No, that's not what we're trying to say here. It's like, no, they can act like an ass, and I'm going to let them know, if you're going to act like an ass, then, you're more than welcome to take that elsewhere. And if that's a problem, we can call the police, we can lock the door, or we can, like what I'm trying to say is, we as people, I find, when I was either managing or helping people or dealing with customer service directly, helping the team grow those toolkits and trust with each other to respond in a positive way is very, it's very asymmetrical, meaning any fucking asshole is going to be able to show up and just like throw shit everywhere.
Yeah.
But it takes a larger effort to be cognizant to be able to handle that. And I don't even call it a more mature, but like a less combative way. We talked this before. If you try to answer anger with anger, you're just gonna blow that balloon up, right?
Yeah, it just exacerbates everything.
For sure. Yeah,
I think that for I can only speak for myself, but for me, it is much easier for me to react with, you're going to be a jerk. Well, I'm going to be a jerk right back to you.
That's the instinct.
And it's self-preservation for me. And it takes a lot for me to step back and say, okay, let's look at this from an observer, not take the emotions out of it and try and deal with it that way. Although it's the best way that I've found to deal with situations. And sometimes the best way to deal with a situation is to just turn around and walk away.
Yep.
You don't have to fight every fight. That's not what this is about. This is about learning on, do I engage this and see if we can come to an outcome, or do I just walk away and not have to deal with that?
Takes practice for sure.
Yeah, it does. It takes practice and focus.
Set the woman down by the side of the river and walk away.
Yep. Just walk away. Don't worry about that fear boner.
That's right. Okay, let's wrap it up. We gotta get to a soccer game. We will work on trying to get the buffering issues sorted out, but I don't know if it's something that we can control.
Why don't you call up YouTube and ask to speak to the manager?
Yeah. I think all of them have gone on to do different jobs. All the folks that I knew names of over there. Okay. Good show, good discussion. I had very low energy today. Lesson learned. As we start doing our half marathon training, when we do our long runs on Saturday, I got to be prepared to come in here and get myself mentally juiced up, because I'm just sitting here like,
you got to get you some jumping jacks going or something, some burpees.
Something. Oh, burpees hurt as I get older. Those are tough to do.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and wrap it up.
Thanks for listening. Check out the Sobermind live stream at youtube.com/@sobermind.
If you or someone you know is struggling with mental health, please contact the Suicide and Crisis Hotline at 988. Also, if you need help with addiction recovery for yourself or someone you know, please check out Al-Anon. Be kind to yourself. Be patient with yourself. You are loved.
Babe, you're about to say something.
I was just going to thank everybody for watching and listening and subscribing. And yeah, we appreciate all of you.
Patrick, 408 subscribers.
Dang, big time.
Yeah.
It's going up.
Yeah. I had the one I posted about our 2 years of sobriety. Every day we just keep getting comments on it. Every single day I get comments, and someone, it's got like 5.7 thousand views or something like that. So it's cool that things like that resonate out there with folks.
Keep on keeping on.
And then I like to read the troll comments too. Someone just put the most immature, no one likes a quitter. Shut up.
God doesn't like a quitter. Yeah. Really?
But anyway.
Yeah. I mean, that's when you know you made it.
That's right.
Haters gotta hate.
Haters gotta hate.
Yeah, someone's like, I can drink beer without getting stupid. Thank you very much. I'm like, I don't know. Because
go ahead.
When your baseline is already there, it's not going to change.
That's right.
Yeah. Hey, you do you.
That's right. All right, everyone. Have a good rest of your weekend. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you all next time. Bye.